Hey everyone, so I'm continuing on my little vlogging journey of dealing with my decks. So I'm going to change the camera angles and show you what's been going on. I had about 42 decks here in the United States at my parents' house that still needed to be dealt with, right? But I thought it was going to be easier for me to just make a decision to get rid of most of them and keep maybe like 10, maybe 15 of them. But as I started to work with the decks, play with them again, it became really challenging. It really did. So now I'm at I think 22 decks, and that's probably too many to be sending back to the DR. And so the issue that I'm having now is I don't want heavy luggage, and that's the issue. I don't want heavy luggage, but I also don't want to spend a lot of money in customs and shipping of the decks. So this is why I have my course, the Choosing Your Next Deck, Curating Your Collection course, to help people not in the position I am. When I started collecting decks, I thought I was going to be at my current location forever. But, seasons change, life changes, desires change. And so my once small, I'm telling my mom to come in, my once small collection grew. And now I needed to be kind of small again, and so I could be nimble. So I am now going to let my mom come in because she's afraid to be on camera, which is funny to me. I'm like the opposite. And I'm going to show you guys just some little snippets of what I've been up to so far. So be right back. Hey guys, here is the containers that I have been talking about on and on throughout the year. These are the decks that were stored at my parents' house in the United States when I moved to the DR. So now I will be going through these this week and determining which ones I'm going to sell, give away, or ship back to the DR or to carry with me on the plane. And this that I'm pointing with my foot there, those are my boxes for my independent decks that I'll probably be having go on the plane with me because I think it's just easier. Or maybe I might ship them. I haven't decided yet since they don't have UPC codes on them. Because what happens is customs will scan the prices, even if they're used, and they will charge you if it's over a certain dollar amount. So since the independently produced decks boxes do not have UPC codes on the backs, they would be best to be shipped, and I'll just have to pack them carefully. So that's what I'm going to be doing, folks. That's what's going on over here, and it's going to be an adventure. I'll probably take you guys along for the ride to the bookstore. We'll see. I don't know yet. All right. Okay, so here's my decks so far that are going to the bookstore to be sold, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm struggling with this one because I really like this deck, but if push came to shove, I suppose I could buy one in the future. It's Hay House, mass market, inexpensive. And yeah, but I didn't really always use it when I had it on my shelf, so I think it needs to go. This deck is the Modern Witch Tarot. I do like it, but the cardstock is so thick and it makes it almost unbearable for me to shuffle. So I think this will be a good one to sell. They'll probably take that right up. This is one I use for altar cards, but again, I have a lot of decks that I can use for that purpose. It's a Soulful Woman guidance card. Then I have some books, but I'll show you guys those in a moment. Let me set these to the side. I have about 8 Lenormand decks, and this one has a great guidebook. And if you're in the market for a Lenormand deck and you want a good guidebook to go with it, this one is it. It's by US Games, but I have well, like now 6 or 7 decks, and I don't really need a bunch of Lenormand. I'm not really using Lenormand like I use Tarot and like I use Oracle, so this one should go as well. And these decks are like new. Here's the Magic of You Oracle. Beautiful deck, but wasn't really called to use it, so yeah. I actually used this one a lot when I had it here, but I don't know. I have to be able to draw the line somewhere and get rid of some decks. So this is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. This one is going to need to go. I know this is a popular one, Sacred Creators Oracle. I love the artwork, and the guidebook is really good. But it's one of those decks that you're doing a lot of soul, like, you know, like soul work and journaling and whatnot is how I use it. And I don't really have a lot of time for that right now. And I'm hoping to eventually get the Sacred Creator, I guess this, not Sacred Creators, the Sacred Rebels, that is, I think Blue Angel has released a matte version. I could be wrong, without borders, and I would rather have that one, so this one is gonna go. I already have a copy of this one, as you guys know. This is the Antique Anatomy Tarot. This is when they first released it as mass market, and it was really thin cardstock. I shuffled it, and I still don't see why people are so upset about it. It shuffles great, and I find that it doesn't chip as much as the one that I have now. But whatever, I don't need 2 of them, so this one's going to go. And I thought about keeping this one, but I didn't really use it when I had it. But and I thought, oh, this would be good for teenagers or kids, but then, you know, some people are squeamish about nudity, and there is nudity in this deck, and so it wouldn't be appropriate for that. I think it has a great guidebook. This is Red Feather Schiffer that published it. So there you have it. There you have it, folks. So that's the decks so far that I've come up with that are going to be sold. Then I have some books. Crystal Ball Gazing. There's many books on Kindle that discusses this. And this is like a new book, so I'm going to sell that one. Have Tarot Will Party, a comprehensive guide to party reading for the tarot professional. She has a digital Kindle version, so if I need to get this book and read it again, I can just get it on Kindle. Same thing with this one. This is also by Jenna Matlin. Have Tarot Will Travel, a comprehensive guide to reading at festivals as a tarot professional. I have not been, since the pandemic, I haven't really been wanting to do readings at festivals or at parties, so there's a lot of good information in here just about reading professionally that you guys should check out, but I've read it and I don't need to keep holding on to it. Behind the Fortune Teller's Tent, a complete business guide to fortune telling at parties and events by Jay DeForest. And I got this when I went to the Northwest Tarot Symposium in 2020 in Oregon, and it's a good book, but again, I'm not really called to right now to read at festivals or parties or and such. But he again, this goes into insurance. This goes into practical matters that you deal with and face when you are reading professionally. So it is a book you don't want to miss. I already have this one on Kindle. This is Tarot Keywords and Meanings, like for 10 of Cups. It has lasting happiness, permanence, valuable friendships, pleasurable relationships, results, success, attainment, bliss, absolute commitment, marriage, an enjoyable journey, and joy. So it has all the key phrases. It's a great little book to just kind of read through real fast and kind of build up your knowledge base of the card. Here's Sex and Tarot by Tony Allen. I really like this. This is also on my Kindle already. And it's a short little guide, and it's good, you know. So, and then finally, the Complete Lenormand Oracle Handbook which I perused through it, but because I'm not really called to study, what do you call it, Lenormand, I just feel like I could get this later or digitized. So this one's gonna go. And then my crystal book is actually, I think I got it on Kindle. So, oh, there's my dad. So I will be right back. So I'm going to show you the decks that I'm thinking about keeping, but that list needs to go down quickly. So I'm going to do these in parts. So if you hear background noises, it's because I'm at my parents' house. My mom is here. My dad comes in and out. And soon my daughter and niece will be back. So just a little forewarning. You may hear background noises, and I don't have my usual light or sound set up. I should have said that earlier at the beginning, but okay. So I'm going to show you some of the books that well, this one I might be able to get on Kindle, I think. I think I saw a newer edition. This is The Awakened Empath, The Ultimate Guide to Emotional, Psychological, and Spiritual Healing by Luna and Soul. So yeah, I like this book a lot. I like to consult it from time to time. It just helps to inform me as an empath, but also to help others who are also empaths, help them out as well. So I like this book. I have just purchased this one before I left. This is Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs by Scott Cunningham. And it's not on Kindle at this time. So I'm probably going to have to figure out how to ship it. As is the complete book of incense, oils, and brews. So this is also by Scott Cunningham. And I wanted to get more into that in the coming year, like make my own incense. I already make my own oils. And I was curious about these little brews that they talk about in this book. So, yeah. I love this book. This is Louise L. Hay. It's called Heal Your Body. And it has affirmations that tie to different conditions that people may have. So, yeah, I'm going to take that one as well. I'm sure this is digitized. I should look and see. So maybe if it is, I may sell it. And I'm going to quickly check that and stick that up there. I tried selling this book the last time I was here and they didn't want it, the bookstore. And then I realized, I was like, I'm not really done working with it. This is it's called Ask, Believe, Receive by David Hooper. 7 Days to Increase Wealth, Better Relationships, and a Life You Love, even when it seems impossible. So that's the title. I've worked with this book way, way, way back in the day. And it was quite helpful in learning really basic tools on how to use law of attraction to your benefit. This is Up to You by Ernest Holmes. He is the author of The Science of Mind. This is my home-based belief system. As you all know, I moved away from Christianity and I moved more towards, we'll just call Science of Mind belief system, which ties in beautifully with law of attraction principles. So I have this little book that I want to read, and I started to read it. I bookmarked there, but didn't get very far. Tarot Dictionary and Compendium by Jana Riley. What's cool about this book is it breaks down all the 78 cards and all the tarot greats. They put their different opinions of what that card means. So they have Crowley's interpretation of temperance, for example. Greer, Greer, they just put the last name. Pollock, Waite. And so it's just, I always think people in their off time, if you're a professional reader, should read up on different card meanings so that way when you're doing a reading, it's like all in your subconscious mind and you just kind of download that information that you've already read. Tarot Reversals. You can go by. This is a vlog. The Complete Book of Tarot Reversals by Mary Kay Greer. And I do have my own interpretations of reversals. but I always like to see what other tarot folk have to say about them and just see if it can add on to what my understanding is. I used to have quite an extensive tarot guidebook library, but that was trimmed down when I moved. This one is not on Kindle, and so I'm going to keep it. This is Tarot d'Amour, and it is by Cooch N. Daniels and Victor Daniels, and it says find love, sex, and romance in the cards, and it's a really good book. A really, really good book for love readings. So that's the bulk of my readings that I do, so I always like to read up on that. And finally, last book, and then we're going to pause, and then I'm going to finally show you the decks I'm struggling with. And maybe you guys can help me. But you got to do it fast. I need your comments quickly on what decks as I go through them, because I need to make some decisions like yesterday. I would have done a live stream, but that's just not practical right now. Tarot for the Healing Heart, Using Inner Wisdom to Heal Body and Mind by Christine Jett. This has got spreads for healing, readings, healing type readings, physical healing, emotional, psychological, even card associations to maybe the professions that you find in the healing arts. You went to the post office? Mm-hmm. Okay, be careful. See you soon. So, really like this book. Really, really, really like this one. And this one wasn't on Kindle. I should have checked Barnes & Noble's because I have a Nook as well, but that's okay. I really I need a few reference books on my shelf in the DR, so I'm going to figure out a way to get them there. All right, now the last part. I'll be right back.